Hello everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel Wonder with Helen. Today we are going to make this beautiful gummy bear. This pattern is completely no sew, so you don't need to use a needle at all. You will have also a PDF version of this pattern down in the link below on my Etsy shop, so you can have a look also on the PDF version. And before we start, if you are not a subscriber, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, so then you can keep up with all of my weekly tutorials. And if you like this video, don't forget to leave a comment of what would you like to see as a next, if it is something also, let's say, from amigurumi, or maybe something related to clothes. So feel free to share what would you like to see as a next. And now let's grab your hooks and let's start. Okay, so now first of all, what we are going to need. I am going to be using plush yarn, concretely Alize Velutto. I will leave the description exactly in the description. And then stitch marker, some stuffing, and our 5mm hook. So I'm going to use 5mm hook and also scissors. For those who are always forgetting which round they are, also I highly recommend to use a counter. I won't be having it right now on my hand because I think then the stitches are not so visible enough. But in the back end I am always using my stitch marker, otherwise I'm always forgetting where I am. So now we can start with the round one. Okay, as a first we are going to make a magic ring. So I am going to grab my yarn, pulling it around my two fingers like this, turning over, grabbing my hook, now going under the first and grabbing the second yarn, and now I am going to pull this yarn and just pull it through my loop. And this is my magic ring. Okay, now in magic ring we are going to make 6 single crochet. Okay, so this is my first. I am going to mark it, otherwise I would forget where I am. And we are going to crochet in circle. That's why it's very important to know where is your first or last stitch. So it depends what you prefer, but for example I am always highlighting the first stitch, not the last one. So this is the first, second, third, 4, 5 and 6. So now I have my 6 single crochet and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yes, and now I can close my magic ring. So I'm closing tightly so the hole is closed. And now I can continue with the round 2. Okay, in the second stitch, second row, sorry, we are going to make increases all the way through. So, but before we start, which means increase 2 single crochet in 1 stitch. And now, this is my first stitch. I already removed my stitch marker. I am going to the first stitch and make my first single crochet. But what I would like to highlight here is the following. So now, when I was making the first single crochet rounds in the round 1, I was grabbing my yarn like this, which is called yarn over. But for every amigurumi, I always prefer to use the method yarn under, simply because then the stitches are tighter, so you have you are kind of, let's say, decreasing a chance of that the filling would at the end see through. So in the first round I didn't make it because of the fact that I have a magic ring, and I noticed when I'm making a first round of yarn under, then I have very difficult problems to pull, let's say to tighten up the magic ring. That's why as a first round I am making yarn over, but as of round 2 till the whole tutorial we are going to make yarn under. So yarn under, I am grabbing the yarn like this, pulling through. And also here sometimes people think, okay, I did yarn under, so I can do it like this. No, you need to do also the second time yarn under. Okay, so this was my first stitch, and in the same stitch I am going to make again yarn under single crochet. Okay, so this was my first increase. In the second stitch again 2 single crochet together. Okay, and this is how you will be doing it till the end of the row, and at the end you will have 12 stitches. Okay, now as the next row 3, we are going to make one increase and one single crochet. So I'm going to remove my stitch marker, and in the first stitch I am going to place increase, so one single crochet, and in the same stitch I need to make second single crochet. So this was my increase, and in the next stitch I am going to just make one single crochet. And now I am going to repeat it all the way through till the end. So now again increase, which means 2 single crochet in 1 and 2, and the third one is going to the next stitch, 3. I will repeat it one more time. So first, second, this is in one stitch my increase, and in the next stitch I am going to make one single crochet, and you are going to continue this way all the way through till the end, and at the end you will have 18 single crochet. Okay, now in the round 4 we are going to make our ears on the teddy bear, or let's say gummy bear. So how we will do so: in the first 4 stitches we are going to make just one simple single crochet. So first I'm marking it, so this was my first, second, third and fourth, and now in the next stitch we are going to make a bubble stitch. What does it mean? We are grabbing the yarn, going into the next stitch, grabbing the yarn. Now I have 3 loops on my hook, and now I am pulling through the yarn only the first 2 loops, first and second. Okay, actually it's kind of, let's say, double crochet stopped in between. So because if I would now want to make a double crochet, I would just through both of the loops, right? And this would be my double crochet, but I don't want to do that. Sorry, I just need to go back. Okay, so I don't want to do that. I want to continue with this, let's say, middle double crochet. What I will do is I am going to grab the yarn, going into the same stitch again, grabbing the yarn, pulling through, and again I am pulling through again only the first 2 loops. And you need to always pull through only the first 2 loops. The remaining loops are staying on your hook, and we are going to repeat this. So this was the first, second, we need to do it all together 5 times, so we need to do it 3 more times. So again, this is my third, yarning over, going into the same stitch, pulling through the yarn, and now I am pulling through only the first 2 loops. The rest is remaining. This was my third. Again, yarn over, into the same stitch. You will feel like it's crowded, but it's okay. This is exactly what we want to do to make that bump, let's say, so don't worry. Now fourth, again we need to pull through the first 2 loops. So first and second, and the last one, yarn over, grabbing and pulling through the first 2 loops. Now we will have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 loops on our hook. Now I am grabbing the yarn and pulling through all at the same time. So I have something like this. Now what I am doing, I am grabbing my finger and pulling, or let's say putting my finger here to kind of highlight even that bump. Okay, and you see the bump is already created. So this is my first ear. Now I am going to continue with 8 single crochet. So this is my next stitch right here. If you are not sure if this is the stitch or this is the stitch from the visual perspective, always go with your hands, because, or let's say with your fingers. With fingers you always feel where you have a stitch. So in the next stitch this is the one, and I am going to make just simple single crochet, and I am going to repeat it in 8 stitches together. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. Now I have remaining 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stitches, which is correct. In the next stitch I am going to make a second ear. So again a bubble stitch. So how we did it last time. yarn over, going into the stitch, pulling through, now pulling through only the first 2 loops, the rest remaining, yarn over, now pulling through the yarn, now again pulling through the first 2 only. This was my second. Now this will be my third, again pulling only the first 2, so this is third, fourth, and the fifth. And now I have 6 loops on my hook, and I am going to pull through all of them at the same time. Again, putting my finger in it to make a little bit bump, and you see our ears are done. Now I have a remaining 4 stitches where I will do just simple single crochet. So the first, second, third, and fourth. And now we can continue with the round 5. Okay, in the round 5 we are just simply gonna make single crochet all the way till the end. So this is my first, and actually you need to have all the time 18 stitches still now, okay? So we are still at number 18, so ideally I suggest you will count here, so then you don't miss basically stitches, especially where you have ears. I will go there, so this is 1, 2, 3, 4, and everywhere you have a bump you have 1 stitch before the bump and 1 stitch after the bump. If you will pull the fingers there, you will feel it basically. So you need to crochet, of course, in both of them. So this was my 1, 2, 3, 4. This would be 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And now again my bump, so this is my 14, 15, and then 16, 17, and 18, exactly 8 stitches. And this is how your work should look like. In the row 6 we are going to make our nose. And how we will do it, first of all we are going to make 9 single crochet, okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Okay, now I have my 9 single crochet, and now I am going to make here again a bubble stitch. So the same time like previous, yarn over, going to the hook, pulling through, now grabbing the first 2 only loops, getting the yarn again. So this was my first time, this will be my second time, third time, this is number 4, and the last, the first 2, and then the rest. Again, putting my finger in it to create a little bumble, and then I have remaining 8 stitches where I will continue just simple single crochet all the way till the end, and I am going to meet you at the beginning of the row 7. In the row 7 we are just going to simply single crochet in all stitch around. Again, don't forget we have 18 stitches together, so you just need to count to make sure that you are making every single crochet, and I will meet you at the end of the row 7. Now in the row 8 we are going to decrease, so I am going to make invisible decrease. So what I am going to is, instead of going through both of the loops like standardly when you are crocheting, I am going to only front loop only. So the first one, grabbing the yarn, I am not finishing it yet, the single crochet, I am going to second stitch into the front loop as well, grabbing the yarn, I have now 3 loops on my hook, and I am pulling the yarn through all of 3 of them, and this is my decrease. And in the row 8 we are going to be switching between decrease and 1 single crochet. So this was my decrease, and I am going to continue with my single crochet here. So here, standard single crochet, and now again decrease. So first, second, and pulling through all, and again in next single crochet, and continue all the way till the end, and you will have 12 stitches at the end. This is how your work should look like by now. Okay, so our head is already done, and now we are going to, in the row 9, we are going to make increase, 1 increase and 2 single crochet, or let's say single crochet into next 2 stitch. So I am going to start with increase. So in the first stitch I am placing 2 single crochet. So this was the first, second, and in the next stitch I am going to place just 1 single crochet, and in the next stitch as well, and I am going to repeat again, increase, single crochet, increase, single crochet all the way till the end, and then I will meet you there at the end of row 9, where we will have 16 stitches together. Okay, now in the row 10 we are going to make the first, let's say the upper paws, or hands, I think more paws of teddy bear, or let's say of gummy bear. So what we are going to do is we are going to make 7 single crochet into the next stitches. So, and then we are going to make our bubble stitch. So it was the first, second, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay, and now we are going to make a bubble stitch. Okay, so again, like the other previous. So grabbing the yarn over, pulling through, going through the first 2 only. This was the first time. Now second time, voila, second time, then third time, fourth, and the last time, 5. And now I am going to pulling through all the loops, again putting my finger in it, so I will make a bump. Now I'm going to make 4, let's say 4 single crochet into the next 4 stitches. So hoppala, again, so 1, 2, 3, and 4. And now I am going to make another bubble stitch in the next stitch. So again, grabbing the yarn over, pulling through the first 2, yarn over, pull first 2. So this is the second time, third time, fourth time, and the 5th time, and pulling through all of them, again pulling my finger to make a bump, and I have remaining 3 stitches where I will make single crochet. So 1, 2, and 3, and this is so far how your work looks like. Okay, now for the row 11 and 12 we are going to make just simple single crochet all the way till the end. Don't forget that we have 16 stitches now, so we decreased a little bit, so we have only 16. So make row 11 and row 12 by 16 single crochet, and then I will meet you at the end of the row 12. At the end of row 12, this is how your work should look like. So you see that we are now going to make a second pair of paws. So now let's start. So first of all, we are going to make in the next 8 stitches, we are going to make single crochet. So 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, so 8 single crochet. In the 9th stitch we are going to make again our bubble. So yarn over, going through, pulling through only the first 2, yarn over again, going into the same stitch and pulling first 2 only. This was my second time. Now this is my third time. Four, and the last one. And now pulling through all the loops on my hook. Putting my finger there to make a bump. Now I'm going to make 4 single crochet. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, and now I am going to make again a bubble. So pulling through the first 2, this is my first, second, third, fourth, and the last one, first 2, and then all of them. Pulling my finger, and now I have remaining 2 stitches, so I am going to make simple single crochet in each of them. So 1 and 2. This is how your work looks like now. So now we are going to make row 14 simple, row 14 simple single crochet. So I will let you do that. So let's do your single crochet again. We are still having only 16 stitches, and I will meet you at the end of row 14. Now once we are done with the row 14, we are going to fill our gummy bear with the stuffing. I always prefer to do it before I will decrease, because then it would be harder for me to, let's say, place or fill properly the teddy bear, gummy bear. Now once we filled our plushie, we are going to make our last row, and we are going to be decreasing, but this time it won't be invisible decrease, it will be decrease going into the back loops only. So not to the front, but only to the back loops. And it's because of the fact that we want to create this effect. So it can be, you know, when you have your finished toy, then it's going to make, so then it can sit. And that's why it's always better where at the place you would like it to sit, then you will make your stitches back loop. It's then much easier for the toy to sit afterwards. So that's why we are going to make now decreases of back loop only. So this was my first, and we are just going to decrease all the way through till the end. So we will have at the end 8 stitches, because now we have 16, so we will have 8 stitches at the end. So the first, going into the second, and pull through both again. First, second, and pulling through. Okay, I will meet you at the end of the row 15. Okay, now once we are done with our row 5, this is how your work should look like. And now we are just going to simply fasten off. Leave a little bit longer tail, but it doesn't need to be very long. So I think like this would be completely okay. Now you can remove your stitch marker, fasten off. Okay, and now we see we still have a hole, And how we will close the hole, so for this you still don't need a needle, you can just use your hook. So you will go to the first stitch, and now basically you will be pulling through the yarn and you will be changing the direction. So one time it will be from the in circle out, the next stitch will be from out to back, and again from in out, from out to back. And once you are done with all of them, so this is my last one, you will just pull tightly and you see the hole is closed. Okay, and then basically you just weave the end. So again, still here I am not using the the needle. I am just grabbing my hook and pulling through the first time, and somewhere here I will do the second time, and I will cut the remaining yarn. Okay, great, and my teddy bear is done. And that's it for today. So now you should hold your own gummy bear, which looks like this. Of course, it could be a little bit smaller or bigger, depends on what kind of yarn you use. That's why this pattern is very beneficial, because actually you can make it in all of the different sizes, and you don't need to adjust the pattern, it's just using the different yarn, which is great. Plus it's no sew, so it's always good choice. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If so, please don't forget to leave a like and also comment what would you like to see next. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you are not yet subscribing, so then you can keep up with all of my next tutorials. And until then, happy crocheting!